around 9 p.m. Central European time. It could be around this time, it could be on spot, it could be a bit later, depending on the party mood. And that's the thing, you have to have fun. And what fun could be to drink something refreshing and cold when it's hot and warm outside the weather. So this is what called fuse tea with black tea, peach, and elder flower. And let's see, starting out, excuse me. Yes. Yes, I hear myself here on Facebook Live, so that's good. So, so one viewer, 2 minutes into the session, and I could then do a script for perhaps if when it's distributed to other destinations like Twitter, Periscope, soon defunct, but Twitch, and in the future it will be LinkedIn, I think and hope. And Instagram, you have a connected account, but it's not connected in that way, but you have different ways of doing it. And then, of course, Facebook Live, and then YouTube Live, and then it's ending up there in the archives later on. So what's HAPS? It's a free world-class broadcasting tools and a community eager to collaborate and a simple way for viewers to support creators financially. This I'm reading from a script here, or a sample note on my phone that pops up when I start the broadcast here, and it states now 2 viewers, so thanks. And it says that I have received so far $0 in coins, HAPS coins. You get, if you use my link there or some others, you get 100 coins for free. And I see here now a new message on my phone. Mark Moses, thanks, loyal viewer here from California. He gave me $0.20. So I don't know what is a beverage. How much is a iced tea in America? Hello from San Francisco. Cheers. What's your favorite iced tea recipe, Mark? So it was the other day on June 10th. It was National Iced Tea Day, and I think it's an international out there also, and also an iced tea month, and probably it's this month, June. And it's probably due to the weather conditions in many states in America during summer. And I have a memory from '96 when I visited America the first time, and I went to Dallas and met a trader there, Victor Sperando, and then I asked the office there in the reception where I could have a nice lunch, and went to a trader. It was not called Trader Joe's, but we could make up that name for a restaurant, and it was like a deli, and the service was so superb. You got the attention when you entered the restaurant, and go walk to the table, and then somebody took your order, and there it was a picture of iced tea, black tea. And on our podcast, produktivitet, like a made up Swedish word for productivity and tea, we have talked about iced tea, but we haven't done any testing of iced tea. But we've got recipes from people and tea enthusiasts in the industry that like that. But in America, this kind of beverage, I think, have a big market share of all the beverages in, and like, is it called soda pop or soft drink? But anyway, iced tea is a big part here in Sweden and in Europe. It's starting to come now. I saw a Swedish brand that was iced tea on concentrate that you could then add water and have a pitcher. Otherwise, of course, best to do it yourself, I think, in a way, if you to brew regular tea and then let it cold with ice and others overnight. But you could also do it cold brew and get directly uh, the iced tea. So it's different. So if you have any recipes of iced tea, you're more than welcome to shout out or reach out to me, and we could exchange recipes there. So we'll see here what Mark is saying. My wife drinks all kinds of different iced teas. I I go more for iced coffee. Yeah, and there you have it. I have, as I said, this domain called tea versus dot coffee. I'm not against coffee, but I play with that coffee, especially here in Sweden, is so popular. Uh, Next after Finland, Sweden is the most consuming most coffee in the world per capita, per person in the world. So, but as I said, hot tea, of course, around the world, but iced tea, cold iced tea in America, North America, but of course other places also. It's very popular. So, and Mark talks about the iced coffee. I like that also, to have ice cubes in coffee and get the coffee there, and the flavor with the cold coffee is interesting, and it's pretty tasty, I think. But anyway, fused tea. My guess, I have done research, and of course, when you try to read on the label, you have white on this see-through bottle, pretty hard and small text to read what the ingredients, but it says no sugar, and it's tea leaves that I put it in, and I think it's Coca-Cola that's behind this brand, because Coca-Cola still big, and of course Pepsi Cola, but it's shrinking with this sugar soft drinks, I think. So then iced tea could be an alternative, but often, like in deep down south, there you have extra sweet iced tea, for example, because it is a bit bitter when you cold brew it, if you don't add any sugar. But you maybe could have cane sugar, could have a smaller amount, and maybe you could have put a bit of lime juice and others in it, and of course fruits and make it sweet. So I've got this for samples. So it's pretty new here in Europe, I think, fused tea. And again, I think it's Coca-Cola is behind this brand. If it's another, you please give me a shout out and correct me. Do you know if Pepsi Cola is, are they owning a tea brand? I mean, Lipton iced tea is one of the biggest one, and you have some others, I think, with the regular tea brands that have their own iced tea version. And then, as Mark is saying, you have lots of different specialty teas that only is doing iced tea, because, as again, it's a big market here. And now 8 viewers, so thanks for watching. As I said, this is the party time on in the evening, European evening, and I try to, when I'm in this mood, I try to do something that's worth celebrating, and it's worth celebrating the iced tea day, I think. So, what more to say? I put it on in the morning. I had another beverage called, that is squeezed, not concentrate, squeezed fruits like rhubarb. That's, I like that. It's very special, probably an old fruit. And then you have apple and pear, and it's squeezed instead of concentrate, and it was pretty refreshing there this morning. So then I asked if you celebrate the national iced tea, and I will add this content creation. I will use this live, and then it's archived, and then I could do a blog post about it. I could do Instagram, and then I could continue the conversation on Twitter if it's like a business angle to it. And of course, this is partying, and it's more personal in a way, but iced tea is a big market. So it could be interesting to look into that. So, and you have all this, as I said, Arizona iced tea, you have the golf player on Barmer, you have lots of different brands there. And then, as I said, at the restaurant, making their own type of iced tea. So when you had this cold beverage by fruits, and asked if you celebrated that. But then I had another thing, and that was about this. Do you say headphone or headphones? It's like well, it's two for your two ears. But could you say headphone also, or is it always headphones? So this is a pair that I got from a subscription for a magazine that I subscribed for a time, and this is like like over the ears, and it should be noise cancellation. So I often use this when I'm reading, so called, uh, listen to audio articles from The Economist and music. And it also should, I mean, could be good to take out noise and so on. But this is then it's wireless Bluetooth, so it's no cable to put into the phone. So I use that for listening, not for recording. And I will see here what Mark is saying. Headphones with an S. So thanks. So coming to that, if you have looked at the emoji, and I am, as you probably know, an Apple fanboy, but I've used all the different systems. And I use the emoji between my first name and last name. So Martin and underscore, or not underscore, but space. And then I use the headphones, and then it's space, and then it's starting with my last name, surname, and then I put the microphone. Like here is a simple microphone, but this is more of a bigger one that I have as an emoji. And then the other day or recently I saw that from black headphones similar to this, that you could see on a screen, small screen, it's headphones, it turned to not exactly this one, but it was white on the side. So against the background, it was hard to see. I wonder why have it changed? Because how do you set up this emoji standard with the codes for that it will work on different phones? So I wonder about that. And isn't it the case that Apple, their latest headphones, the big headphones for music and so on, the first one came out is white. So I wonder if that's why they have changed it. So if you have any information about that, please tell me. So, but then the other day, another pair of blackout hair headphones is from PreSonus. That's a monitoring headphones, and it's big on my ear, and I listen when I record here and also when I do podcasting. Here is a big connector and cable. But then the other day I wondered what's happening here. I couldn't hear myself. So I wonder if something has happened with this. So I need probably a new pair of monitoring headphones. And I asked about different brands and so on. And if you want to sponsor me for that, I'm doing some so-called product placement. These have been a good uh, piece of headphones, but now I'm open to find some new there. So maybe Audio Technica could be one brand, and I don't have to have very exclusive. It's only to monitoring the sound. So now I'm using the one that I showed you here with the white, the COS. So this is COS. Very simple, and I use it when I listen and do the editing on my podcast, because it's no microphone on it, so it doesn't pick up the sound. So there you have that one. And here is another old pair of headphones also that I use. This is a Swedish brand, Plattan, and I think it's Urbanista. And I had to put some duct tape or marketing tape in order to keep it. It's starting to disintegrate to joke, but still it's a good sound, and so I like to use this. So Where if you have any recommendations about headphones for monitoring, podcasting, live streaming, etc. So that with the cable, but no microphone on it. So and then we will do the research on how the black headphones emoji ended up white. If that's the case, that it's Apple that have pushed it for some reason. So yeah, and now I have my cap. Often I have my Ego Netcast cap for my podcast, one of my podcasts. This is a cap that I got from friends here that have been in New York State. So I wonder, maybe could it be the case that New York is one of the most popular places for iced tea? Or which one could it be? You think that you're drinking most iced tea in North America? That would be interesting if you know about that. Maybe they have some on the tea institute, or if they have some association for iced tea, and I could get some information about that. And that's what I was saying. I will do that as a follow up of this content. So I will check out things and then write some links, and then that will be coming to blog post, and then I could continue the conversation on Twitter, and as I said, also if it's convenient and also applicable and relevant to LinkedIn and doing that. So again, I like this HAPS community. You could get, as Mark was giving me now, dollar 0.20 that's going collecting to getting tea, so I could buy tea, and then you make comments at the same time, and then after it's published and it's there in the archive on your profile, you could add additional comments and so on, and then you could go to the profile and see the different other destinations out there and satellites in cyberspace, and connect with other content creators on HAPS. So I think that's for now. I've been talking for almost 20 minutes, and as I said, I want to have it short and sweet, around 15-20 minutes, sometimes up to half an hour. This is more like a, as I said, relaxing, and starting the evening with iced tea. Here it's Fuse tea, black tea, peach, and elderflower. So it will be interesting to test. And if you have any, as I said, any suggestions on iced tea that I should check out, and that's one thing that I'm talking about, working on my last site, and that's the teaparty.media, and there I will talk about my interest in tea and new and expertise in new media, including podcasting, for example, and blogging, and why you should have a newsletter. So with that, I say cheerio, and talk to you soon again. And next round it will be an article here on The Economist will be on Thursdays, and on Tuesday, and there it's in a profile on HAPS also. You could see the time at 3 p.m. Central European Time on Tuesday. Then I will do three things tech. So if you have any things that you want to talk about when it comes to technology, internet, social media, etc., please reach out to me, and I could do a broadcast session on that. So thanks for watching, listening, and Mark, thanks for stop by again here. Appreciate it very much. Spread the good word, and thanks for the high award. So I appreciate that very much, and have a nice evening when that will come. You are early in the morning there, Mark, or you could say midday now, if it's nine hours difference. So around lunchtime, maybe you have some iced tea for lunch, Mark, or your wife drinking it, as you said. So now it's saying great connection. Sometimes it's going to good, and it's depending on the Wi-Fi, I think, or maybe it could be the HAPS also. and now it's saying 15 viewers. So I think that's almost a record on live, and then it's adding on when it's recorded and archived also. So thanks again for tuning in, and talk to you soon again. Cheers.